Hopefully we're streaming over. Let's get rid of this one over here. Okay, looks like I'm streaming on YouTube. Awesome. Let's bring not UTalk, TikTok. Fingers crossed this is all going to work. Fingers crossed. So hopefully I'm on Instagram, but I can't tell at the moment. And momentarily, I should be on Facebook. Fingers crossed. So, oh yes, I am live on YouTube. Hello, YouTube. I've actually managed to successfully get YouTube working this week. That's awesome. So that's a win. So let me have a look and see. Yes, it looks like we're live over here on Facebook, and we are definitely live over here on YouTube. So the only one I'm really not certain about today is Instagram. So I'm going to bring Instagram back over here and try that again, just to see if I can figure out what's going on there. We've got a couple of moments before we start, so let's bear with me for a moment. So, Insta. I am going to work this software out, and then I'll tell you guys how to look at it. Hey there, Rika, how are you? So, when you pop in, just let me know where you're watching me from. I know where Rika's watching me from. She's watching me from the Philippines. She's my gorgeous VA who helps me out a lot. So it doesn't look like I've got Instagram working tonight, but that's okay. We got YouTube working instead. So we'll just get on with it, and next week hopefully I'll get Instagram working, which will be kind of awesome. Let's see, give it one last try and then we'll get into it. So just while we're waiting for everyone else to come on in, hi everyone, I'm Amanda. Just tell me where you're watching me from. And if you're watching on the replay, please say hashtag replay. So, no, I don't think Instagram is going to work for me this week. That's okay. That's okay. We roll with the punches and we keep going. And this whole Friday night video is always about our wins. So please comment where you're watching from and what you're celebrating today. Let me know what you're celebrating. So for me today, the biggest thing I have to celebrate is being discharged from the surgical clinic at the hospital, which means the belly surgery I had back in November and December, because I ended up with 3 surgeries, has now healed to a degree where they don't need to see me anymore. So I'm happy to say that that's awesome. I'm happy. That's my big win for the week. But while we're waiting for some other people to come on in and tell us what their wins are and say hi and let us know where you're watching from, my name is Amanda Sutherland. I'm a sole trader. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm an actor. I'm an entertainer, but I'm also someone who loves helping business owners. And one of the things I really do love doing is helping people understand the little techie stuff that sometimes that we all need to understand behind the scenes. And tonight I want to talk to you about a little bit about your mail systems. So things like using MailChimp versus MailerLite, that sort of thing. So if you've got your questions, throw them at me and I'll do my best to answer you. But yes, please also, say hi and let me know what you're celebrating. So, God, whoops, keep that still. So, if you see me moving my head around, it's because I'm trying to keep a track of everybody in the chats. So I've got Facebook in front of me, YouTube here, and I have, not sorry, this is TikTok here and YouTube over here. There's a few of us to keep track of, so please bear with me as I try and keep track of everybody. So please feel free to comment and say hi, ask a question. But to start with, I've got some viewers over on Facebook. Hello over there. Just say hi so I know who's watching. So I want to talk a little bit about MailChimp tonight and then MailerLite. Now, they're the two main mail programs that I know of in terms of that entrepreneurs are likely to be using for their mail lists. So, and they both have their quirks. They are better. Some are better in some situations. Some are better in other situations. So it's really also depending on your situation you're in as to which one you should go with. Now, Mailchimp, is it was a standard there for a long time, and I still get a lot of emails from people who are obviously using Mailchimp. as their place to set up their mail lists. Now, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to. Hey, Marcel, how you going today? So, I'm not going to sit here and tell you how to develop your list. You've all got business coaches. You know how to do that. What I'm here to help you with is the technicalities that sometimes go with using the programs that you are encouraged to use. I'm pretty good at figuring out the how to do things sort of things. So, and that's not me. That's not me blowing my horn. I actually can usually nut my way out. Hey, Jeff. Oh, Jeff's had a record week over in Manila, so he's over in the Philippines as well. His team's worked really hard. Oh, thank you. Yeah, the lurkers are definitely watching. They're always watching. Like I've said before, it doesn't matter if you don't have any interaction on a live video. There will be somebody watching, and might watch for 2 or 3 years before they reach out and comment or reach out and say, hey, look, can you help me? So if you're ever worried about your lives being effective, don't. Everybody will watch, and it just might take some time for somebody to actually get back to you. But congratulations, Jeff, on having a super good week. Marcel, I know you've got a gorgeous little cat over there who will be no doubt lapping you up. Hi, Leslie. Leslie, how are you today? Have you got a win for us, Leslie? Haven't got anyone here over YouTube. Yep, that's okay. We will come back and we'll check. If you're on TikTok, please comment as well. I found out how to see your comments last week. So I'm learning a lot of these new platforms. I have been doing Facebook Lives now for probably 10 years. But branching out into YouTube and TikTok and Instagram are new platforms for me. So I'm working my way through it. I have a beautiful piece of software that was free to use, but it's a bit tricky. So if you're not tech minded, it mightn't work so well for you. But once you do get your head around it, it's actually pretty nifty. And I believe it's the same one that a lot of the gamers use and whatnot. It's actually something I learned about at uni. So it's amazing what you can actually learn when you open your mind and just oh, Leslie had a successful presentation day. Awesome. Congratulations, Leslie. That's always good to do. And I'm so glad Marcel's allowed himself to buy a fridge. So that's awesome. Like I've always say, it doesn't matter how big the win is. You've got to celebrate each and every single win, because that will help you grow and enjoy your journey more. But back to the topic for tonight. So tonight's topic, sorry, I'm just going to, my chair's rolling about. Give me a second. So basically tonight, what I want to talk to you about is some of the benefits and some of the downsides of using your mail programs like things like MailChimp and MailerLite. They're the two main ones that I would suggest that most entrepreneurs, when they're starting out, are using. Yes, there are definitely bigger and better ones out there, but you don't need them until you get to a certain point in your journey. And well, a lot of people out there aren't at that point, and I'm here to help you with that in the meantime. So things like MailerLite and MailChimp allow you to some of the pros of both of them, they allow you to collect your email addresses, because everybody knows that we need to be building our mail lists. And both of these programs allow you to collect those email addresses from people. They also allow you to do something that's called audience segmentation. So if you're like me and you've got multiple streams of business, you can actually segment your audience into those multiple streams so that they are only receiving emails from you about the information they want to hear. So I think pretty much when someone joins my mail list, one of the first emails they get is, what newsletters would you like to receive from me? Do you want to receive my business one, or do you want to receive my entertainment news one? So it's a really cool way to actually help your clients and your people get the information they actually want to hear when they want to hear it. So that is something you definitely need to consider. So if you have any issues though, always reach out to me. When I'm finished the live, I'll pop a calendar link and you can book a little chat to have a chat to me about this stuff and see if there is something we can work together on. Some people actually just hire me to write their newsletters for them. And send them out for them. And you know what? I'm happy to do that as well. But if you really want to understand how to set up things like automations inside of your mail program, I'm the sort of person who can actually take you through the step by step. Like MailChimp, depending on your level of subscription. Oh, awesome, Marcel. That's absolutely awesome. I'll see it next time I come and feed the cat. um, so if you, where was I? That's okay. I'll come back to that. So it's a matter of yeah. If you Mailchimp, for example, has different subscription levels. I personally don't use Mailchimp for the simple reason that I find that Mailchimp is not that easy to use and it's not really cost effective anymore. About 10 years ago, you could do quite a lot in Mailchimp for free. But these days, unless you've got the paid versions and depending on which level of payment you have, is how much you can actually achieve in MailChimp. And I find for somebody starting out who wants to be able to create forms, to collect people's email addresses on their websites, to create landing pages so that people can actually you can actually get people to sign up to your newsletter. You can also I work for a couple of people where I actually use it to create reminders for events that they hold. So you use it to create event reminders. You use it to do all of these sort of things. Send newsletters out. Or sometimes you might get a notification that something urgent has to be said or let your people know. These programs make it really super simple to do all of that. My system of preference is MailerLite because for somebody starting out, you can you can do pretty much most things that a beginner will want to do on the free account. Now, I'm not paid to say any of this because they don't even know I exist, basically. But if someone wants some help with either MailerLite or MailChimp, please let me know. I am quite happy to nut through issues. Like an example of a difference in MailChimp, when you're creating an automated series of emails, or as MailChimp calls it, a journey. MailerLite call it an automation. So it's your naming's a little bit different between the two, but you know what? It's just a name. They do the same concept. So, but in Mailchimp, for example, if you want something to start on a certain date, you have to go and add in an audience field or a merge field to create that date to start on. So I've got essay. I think that's it. Essay. I'm sorry, I don't speak Spanish, so I'm going to try and say this. Hi, Don Chiedas. I'm really sorry if I've just butchered that because I don't speak Spanish. I've never been taught Spanish. I'm sorry. So if I've butchered that, please forgive me. But hello. Thank you for joining us. So in terms of MailChimp, yeah, you've got to go and do a little bit of background stuff sometimes to get your automations working. Now in MailerLite, to get that same set of emails going out on a certain date, you go into your automations and then you go set delay to start on blah date at such and such time. So that's one of the reasons my preference is MailerLite over MailChimp, because yeah, it's so much easier to actually thank you. Is it Essie? It's Don Chadidas. I hope I've got it right that time. Hope I've got it right. And please tell me what I'm saying when I say that, because I have no clue about that one. So please inform me on that one. And yeah, so it's just about knowing the little tweaks. I do have a paid version of MailerLite because I wanted to get the support, because you don't get the support in MailerLite if you have a problem unless hi BXNE. I think that's thank you. Thank you, Essie. Thank you. So I'm a big fan of MailerLite. I do love it. Okay, I'm not African either, so let's see if I can get this one right. Amanda Safifica? I'm not sure if I've got that one right, please. Please let me know if I've got that one right. It's And that's one of the great things actually about doing lives. You get to learn lots of different things and have this almost instant reaction and interactions with your people. And that's awesome. Thank you very much. So yeah, one of the reasons, yeah, so I do have the paid MailerLite accounts because I do plan on growing and growing my business to levels where the paid MailerLite account is going to be very useful to me. But that said, oh, thank you. So I'm going to try that one again. Sorry, I've got a pronunciation over here. Amanda Sifika. I hope I got that one right that time. So it's so yeah, I've got yeah, well, it's kind of awesome trying to keep track of everybody. It does take me a little while, but thank you for being patient with me. So basically, yeah, when you're working in MailerLite, I find the automations are a lot easier to use because you can actually set specific dates and times within the automation process. One little tweak I've found, I had to ask for help from their support from, and you only get that support though, unfortunately, if you have a paid account. But if you do have the paid account, the support is actually really, really good. So that I can recommend is the support is actually really good. Okay, catch you later. um, so it's one of those things. Yeah, it is really good. And what I found was we were having problems because when I create an automation, so I do live masterclasses all the time, or 4 times a year. So we like to reuse our automations. So what I do is we try to actually reuse them, but I found that sometimes what happens when you do that is the automation stops working. So I had to contact support and they actually worked it out for me. So that was awesome. So sometimes having that support there available is good. I think it was like the level I'm on was like $200-300 for the entire year. And that was US, so I'm in Australia, so I would have paid a little bit more than that for it. But you know what? It was worth it because there are a couple of times I've had trouble. Now in MailChimp, the free level, you again you don't get any support. You only get the I'm good, thank you, Law Sports, thank you. Um, you get the support again in the paid levels. So the support levels you really only get when you're paying for the account. So that's they prioritize you for that, which is I guess pretty much normal to expect these days. Um, but yeah, I find yeah their automations or their journeys are not as intuitive to put together. But that said, there are ways around things. So you've just got to work out the different paths, the different ways of doing things. And when you do that, and if you take the time to create these automations, if you're doing a masterclass or you've got an event coming up, you can set up a line of automated emails right at the beginning of the event. Hey, Steph, so that you don't forget to actually follow up and send those emails out. Because if you're doing as many events as I am, for example, I work for a couple of different things at organizations, and I think between them there's at least 2 events per month that I have to sort of manage the emails on. So it's one of those things where, okay, step one, we've got to invite everybody. Step two, you've got to remind everybody. The reminder emails, if you're doing an event, is essential. And your timing of those is actually pretty interesting as well. Now, for the groups that I work with, we have found that 1 week beforehand is a good time to send the reminder, and 2 days beforehand as well is a good time to send a reminder that people to book. Oh, Sturgey's taking steps. That's awesome, Steph. That's a big celebration. Steph's got a gorgeous little baby. He's just started walking. That's awesome. That's awesome, Steph. So we've got where was it? So yeah, you've got these little steps that make things a bit easier for you. So you can actually write all your emails in advance. You can set them out, and once you've got your automations or your journeys working really well, it's a set and forget process. However, it doesn't always pay to forget. You do need to come back and just from time to time make sure that people are actually going through the journey and that they are passing from one step to the next. But once you really get it worked out, it's so easy, it's so good. It just frees up time. And yeah, you can, both of the programs, you can actually build landing pages in, you can create forms that you can then subscribe forms that you can then upload to your websites and embed on your websites, so that when someone says, "Oh, I want a newsletter, I want to join your newsletter list," that list then they go straight into your email program. You don't have to think about it. I know some companies that I've worked with in the past have a form that's built into their website, but it's collecting the data, and they still then have to take the data from the form and then pop it into their email program. So if you do something like set up a form from one of these programs. Oh, Steph's got some ideas written down. Is that for your next book, Steph? I hope so. Steph's also an author. She's got cerebral palsy, but I tell you what, one of the smartest people I've ever known. So basically, setting up your emails is important. And so, yeah, using the little tips and tricks inside of these programs, like creating a form that it's called an embedded form, which means that you create the form inside your mail program, and then it gives you the code, and you take the code and you pop it on your website. And it saves you time by virtue of the fact that people are coming to go fill out the form, and it goes straight into your automated systems. How cool is that? Just that one little step can actually save a lot of time for people, and they go straight in. And if you set it up properly, you have a welcome email that welcomes them to your newsletter group and then moves them into the correct group. So that's what we do with some of my emails. Is on my website, you come in, you get an email saying, "Welcome, thank you for signing up to my newsletter. Now I have two types of newsletters. Which ones would you like?" And this is where it just automatically sends that out within 5 minutes of them signing up to the newsletter. And then that puts also, you can then, part of the process then is you create an automation that says, okay, send the email out. And at the end of this process, at least in MailerLite, you do something similar in MailChimp, but at the end of the process, you say, add this person to, if they tick this, go to this group. If they tick that, they go to that group. So that automates the process of you, getting people onto your list because they fill out the form and they go onto the list. 2, once they're there, they're getting an instantaneous or within 5 minutes email that says, "Welcome to the tribe, welcome, blah, blah, blah. Please confirm your email address," because that is best practice these days. Please confirm that you do want to be on this email list. Now, if you do want to understand a little bit more, at least about the laws that apply to email marketing in Australia, I do have a blog on my website. So just have a quick look at my website, amandasutherland.com.au, and you'll find it over there on the blog posts about the different laws. But if you're in Europe, for example, you have to have explicit permission that someone is you are allowed to send them marketing emails. Now, laws in Australia are slightly fudgy in that so far as it can be inferred that you have express permission, whereas European ones you have to have definite permission to be there. So just check the laws in your local areas when it comes to email marketing to make sure that you are doing the right thing, because the last thing you want to do is land yourself in trouble. But programs like MailChimp and MailerLite, they are your friends when it comes to this. They will help you. They have a little box that says include GDPR. If you have that, whenever you see that and you're setting up mail automations, tick the GDPR box, because what that then does, it sends the person an email asking them to confirm that they want to be on your mail list. They tick that, they send that back to you, it activates their account, and you are good. You know for certain that you are safe to send marketing emails to those people. So yes, lots of different things to think about. Timing of emails. One of the things I like to look at is if I'm sending out, there's so many things to think about. But if you want to have a chat with me, I'm going to pop my calendar link. Rika, if you're still watching, can you pop my calendar link in the comments? Otherwise, I'll do it after the live is finished. So the calendar link will actually, not calendar link. I've lost my train of thought now. This is one of the joys of going live. But you know what? It's not going to phase me. I'm just going to keep going. So basically, you want to make sure you've got that definite permission. Takes care of it for you. The other thing you need to have in most places now is a very quick and easy way for someone who changes their mind and they want to unsubscribe. So that is the easiest way to do that, is to have this little thing at the bottom. It's going to be done very quickly, at least here in Australia. That has to be on every single email that goes out, and it has to be done within 24 hours. So if you get MailerLite or MailChimp to include an unsubscribe line at the bottom of your emails, they click the unsubscribe button, it's done instantly. So that takes care of that problem for you. So please reach out if you've got any questions. I will be running a masterclass on writing emails and processes later in the year. But that's not, my next one's actually on doing this, going live on social media. But for now, because I've had some questions of late about emails, I wanted to come on and do a little bit of a chat about emails. Timing, that's where I was before I distracted myself. So timing, in terms of your emails, one of the things I like to do when I'm doing event reminders, because we send them out a lot of the time on the Monday before the events, because most of the events that I organise are either on a Wednesday or hi, do you TikTok, eh? My name is Amanda Sutherland. I'm an entertainer and entrepreneur, and I help business owners who want to work out some of their tech issues. Basically, I love getting in and helping the nitty gritties behind the scene. And I'm live currently on three platforms tonight, which is awesome. And I'm based here in Australia, in the southern areas of Australia, basically. So, where was I? Yeah. So when you're sending out reminders for these events that I work with, what we do is we send further south, further south. We send reminders out on the Monday beforehand. Now, one thing I've picked up over years of working within the marketing areas and helping business owners with their email marketing is that sometimes there are better times to send things out and sometimes there are not. So basically, thank you, Kylie Slick, for sharing the live. Thank you very much. So basically, one of the things you need to take into account is who is your audience, who are you marketing to, and when are they likely to be reading. Now, for the events I've been speaking about, one of the things I like to do is I like to send them out at 8:45 a.m. on a Monday morning. Now, my reasoning behind that I've picked up over the years of marketing with business, is we are marketing to business people. So they generally won't even look at their inboxes before 9 a.m. most days of the week. So if we want them to remember that we've got an event coming up, I like to send it to them at 8:45 a.m. So it's one of the first emails that are in the top of their inbox when they open up their emails. So it's there, front of mind. So that's one little trick you can use, depending on, obviously, what kind of business you're running. Now, like I said, these businesses work. No worries, Steph. I'll catch you later. So these are businesses who are marketing to businesses to come and join them for educational events. So it's important for the right person to see that. So 8:45, Monday morning, they open their emails when they come in. It's top of the box. So think about that when you're marketing with your emails. And programs like we're talking about now, like MailerLite and MailChimp, are both more than capable of actually sending them out at those scheduled times. Now, depending on which program you're using and what paid level you have, is how much automation you can create and how much time-based stuff you can do. But generally speaking, I'm not so sure these days about the free version of MailChimp, because I've only been working lately in the paid versions. But yeah, I don't think it's as much as it used to be. But I think you pretty much got to pay for everything MailChimp these days. So I tend to use MailerLite for people who want a free place to start. But you can, set your automations up. You can set your landing pages up. It's just so much you can do. I could probably sit here and rabbit on and probably repeat myself for the next half hour. And who's got time for that? None of us do. We're all busy people. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me here on this Friday's live. I do them every Friday afternoon, about 6 o'clock Australian Eastern Time, so Sydney time. So if you're overseas Sydney time, it's about 6 p.m. every Friday Sydney time. So basically, yeah, welcome. Come in, share your wins with us because I love to celebrate our wins. Because, like I've said many times now, every single time we celebrate even the smallest of wins, and for some people, a win is actually getting out of bed. And that is actually a win for some people. You know what? It doesn't matter whether it's big or small. If you need to take time to celebrate it, you need time to acknowledge that you've had a win. Because when you remember that you've won at the small stuff, the small wins build to the big wins. Anyway, my friends, thank you so much, and I will see you again probably next Friday. I might pop in a little bit earlier. It depends what I've got on. I've got some pretty interesting stuff happening at uni at the moment. So I am studying a Bachelor of Arts degree, and I'm actually going to be about to start researching a project about AI and how much we can actually use it to help us with in our businesses. Now I know AI is not for everybody, but I'm actually loving it because it actually frees me up to do a lot of work. And I do have more surgery coming up later in the year, so it's actually helping me to get ahead with my content creation for you. So, on that note, I will say good night, and I will see you all next Friday at 6 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, which is Sydney time for those of you who are around the world. And I'll see you then. Goodbye for now.